It's really hard to describe narcissistic abuse to people. And I tell people all the time, stop trying to defend yourself. Stop trying to explain your situation. Stop trying to explain what you've gone through. People just won't understand narcissistic abuse. It's hard to understand. And that's the problem. You can't really explain it. I mean, you can try, but it won't do any justice. You see, everyone has said at one time or another that they believe that they've dated a narcissist nowadays. But really, this isn't a relationship you can end easily. It's not normal. Someone has to experience it to understand it, and even after experiencing it, it's hard to explain it. Sometimes you can't even explain it because the level of insanity you try to explain isn't understandable to the untraumatized mind. But the worst question you can ask a victim of this type of abuse is, why don't you just leave? Why didn't you just walk away? That's the worst of the worst. Because the asker doesn't even understand just how stupid that question sounds in our delusion of what we think is love. But it's actually a trauma bond. No one would willingly choose one of these type of relationships, one of these kind of evil individuals. Maybe you've dated a couple, and that will get others questioning you more about what you were doing. I mean, what exactly were you doing? Right? Which is normal to some people. And that's a legit question, because victims in reality have no idea what they are doing, what they're getting themselves into. They are so focused on the narcissist, they refuse to look at their own traumas and themselves, which are keeping them stuck or attracting these type of people. The best way I can explain the trauma bond abuse, many can't understand it at all. Imagine having cancer. I mean, death is right around the corner, but there is hope if you follow a treatment regimen, right? But there is a medicine that appears great from the outside looking in. But after you dig a little deeper, you see there are major side effects with this pill, right? Some side effects are worse than death itself, if you choose it. You see, the pain is so bad you are willing to take the risk. You take the pills in hope of a little relief, right? You throw logic and knowledge out the window. You're suffering, and you need something to take the edge off. You take the pill. It's the miracle you hope for. The symptoms are subsiding until they aren't. The symptoms eventually come back with a vengeance, and the pain is far worse than the cancer itself. Death actually sounds better, right? So why did you take the pill? People told you you were nuts if you do. But you did it anyway, didn't you? That's how you explain it. Your soul is dying, but it eventually takes on a physical aspect to it. You are deeper than you ever imagined, and you can't see or think your way out of this. You just don't know what to do. Your choices and your decisions don't make sense, but neither does the obsession and the addiction to someone that is so irritable, horrible, and mean to you. So if those questioning you were in the same situation, guess what? They take the pill, at least at first. Don't let them BS you about this at all. They have just never put in life or death situation. They've never been put in that kind of situation. That's all that it really is. You see, victims have, or at least they believe they have, and that's all that matters. Take the pill or don't. The choice is yours. And that's what happens when you're dealing with the narcissist. It's just the way that it is. Lots of people will not understand what you've gone through, and you won't be able to explain it no matter how hard you try. It's not something that you can just break away from. The trauma bond is something lots of people who haven't experienced it will understand. No matter how hard you try to talk to people about this, no matter how much of the story you explain to people, lots of people just won't get it. And then everybody has an opinion, right? Why didn't you just do this? Why didn't you just do that? But if it were them, it would be totally different, right? So this is why I tell people it doesn't make sense to try to describe what you've gone through to people, because everybody has an opinion, and because it doesn't directly affect them, they don't know what to say to you. People always have the same thing. Why didn't you just walk away? Why didn't you just leave? But guess what? If it were them, it would be a totally different story. So just want to share that with you guys. Take time out to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time.
Like this, make it up like this, make it not